The vision is to empower our people through their health and through their happiness to live the life that they dream of and to live life without limits. I think so many of us have all these limiting beliefs that hold us back from our goals and hold us back from our true potential. So We Are Well will be a vehicle to inspire people and show them that you have no limits.
James is a serial entrepreneur and born leader with a proven track record of success in e-commerce and event marketing. Amongst many failures, James has built, scaled, and sold 3 six-figure businesses and led teams of over 50. He finds happiness in making people and the planet smile. After conquering a long battle with mental illness, James brought together the We Are Well team to arm his generation with the tools they need to improve not only their own health, but the health of the planet as well. As I am a member of the We Are Well board, I'm working closely with James and his vision, and it's incredible to see how he's bringing it to life. In this episode, we talk about James's varied entrepreneurial journey and his consistent red thread of wanting to put a smile on people's faces. You're listening to Going Conscious, the podcast where we discover new ways to live a more conscious life of fulfillment and freedom. Each week, I speak with entrepreneurs, academics, and changemakers who have made big transformations, left unfulfilling lives behind, and found meaning in this new world where purpose drives success. Let's get inspired to live our unique journeys to the fullest. Let's explore the impact we want to make and deepen our understanding of ourselves, each other, and this beautiful world around us. Live your freedom. I'm your host, Nikki Trott. In this episode, we talk about why making other people happy makes you happy, asking why, trauma and mental illness, discovering that pharmaceuticals don't bring wellness, James's wake-up moment where he stepped out of his own body, how to focus on your mind, body, and soul all at once rather than one at a time, creating a health brand for Gen Z, authenticity, profit with purpose, helping humanity to thrive, and the importance of practicing gratitude. Now let's go to our conversation. James, hello and welcome to Going Conscious.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I'm excited to dive in today and talk about how you got to where you are, having founded We Are Well. And the first thing I'm wondering, because I know you founded multiple companies, was purpose always driving what you were doing with business, or is that something that you needed a bit of time to discover?
Yeah, I think there's definitely purpose in every venture that I've done. It may not have been a conscious purpose, but they all had a very similar commonality in terms of helping people and really trying to put a smile on other people's faces. I never really realized until only a few years ago that was truly at the core of everything that I was doing, but it definitely is a pattern in all the ventures that I've gotten myself into.
Amazing. So it was kind of with hindsight then that you saw how all of those different ventures had a common thread.
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you think was driving that common thread?
I think really deep down was just the desire to help people and to put a smile on other people's faces. I mean, I dealt with a lot of problems myself and never kind of struggled to find happiness, but I know that I always was extremely happy when I was able to make other people happy. And all of the ventures that I've started and all of the jobs that I've done have always kind of been around helping people and improving people's lives in one way or another. So that's truly been at the core of everything that I've done.
Is there like one moment or something that comes to mind, just a little story about when you've made someone else happy and how that's affected you in any of these ventures?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, every one of them has been very focused on that. I think the biggest one that I think I had a major realization was when I was running an event company and DJing. That was the biggest event where I saw so many people smiling and happy and just loving life, and felt like I had a major part in that. having brought them all to the same place. And I remember my favorite part about DJing was just that I was kind of in control of the night. I kind of got to control the vibe and got to see people get fired up and see everyone dancing and having fun. I think that was definitely one of my favorite moments. Um, and yeah, and I think the other side of that too was the happiness that I saw in the team that I was working with for that venture as well. I it was a lot of people's first job, and some of them did very very well. And yeah, it was really exciting. We had a very cool incentive structure and things like that, and it got the whole team very motivated and excited.
Amazing, amazing. Cool. Yes, absolutely. That absolute power to create the vibe and create that joy on the dance floor. It's really
Hmm.
explosive. And
Hmm.
so, can you tell us a bit about your journey to founding We Are Well? I know you went through your own personal journey that really impacted what you then wanted to do with your next business.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up I grew up as the why kid. I was always asking why about everything. Always wanted to know how things work and why they work the way that they did. I was placed in a gifted program early on in school and kind of was separated from my peers in a way, but I learned very differently. Yeah, my school was really great at kind of accommodating for that. But I was also bullied quite a bit, both at home and in school, which kind of led to a few mental illnesses and dealt with a bit of trauma and things like that. So I always found happiness when I was making others happy, and that's what led me into entrepreneurship. I started wholesaling things with my grandpa online from China when I was in grade one, and started selling elastic bands on the bracelet or elastic bracelets on the playground. And the smile I was able to put on people's faces just got me so excited that I knew I wanted to do more of this. So started finding other products and kind of did that all throughout school. Also led me into different other ventures like mowing lawns, shoveling snow, paper routes, things like that. And I really loved working. I started working pretty much full time when I was 13 or 14, and kind of became a bit too in love with work. I became a bit obsessed with making money. I kind of was addicted to work. I was skipping school to go to work. Kind of started making some questionable decisions, things like that. And um, from there, I became a fitness freak. I mean, I was tired of getting bullied and was always kind of smaller than my peers, and I really wanted to change that. So I started working out a ridiculous amount. Got introduced to steroids from a trainer at a very young age, unfortunately, and that kind of messed things up for me. But yeah, I kind of became super obsessed with training, and I was in the gym for 5 hours a day and counting every single macronutrient I put into my body, and kind of really started to develop some body dysmorphia. And um, yeah, then after doing a bodybuilding competition, just kind of gave up on working out, and then realized that I was neglecting my social life. So I became the life of the party. I started an event company. I was working in the nightclubs and partying pretty much every night. And um, yeah, sure, I was having a lot of fun, but on the Sundays, I was kind of just Sunday scaries and dealing with the hangovers and the kind of depression that hits after a week of partying. And yeah, kind of when I was in university, I really ran into a brick wall. I was very isolated and kind of hit a breaking point where I was just so unhappy and basically at a point of deciding whether I wanted to carry on with life. And sort of just felt myself step out of my own body and basically like slap myself in the face. Like, what are you doing? Um, I realized that I was just trying to fill all these holes by just overcompensating with social life or overcompensating with my health or my physique or my bank account, and realized that I was just trying to put band-aids on all the problems that were truly deep down. And finally, after realizing that, I realized that I needed to start taking care of myself and truly taking care of my mind and my body and my soul rather than just focusing on one of them at a time. And after doing a lot of soul searching and digging into what it was that made me happy, and all of the commonalities between the different addictions and ventures and things like that that I had been on, I realized they were all at the root of helping other people. When I was a workaholic, I loved to train other people on the job, and I was still loving to do ventures where I could help people. When I was in the gym, I was training all my friends. I would go to the gym multiple times a day so that I could meet multiple people's schedules and make sure that I could uh, help as many people through that as well. And then getting into the club, I was all about making sure that everyone else was having a good time. And I kind of realized that I was never thinking about making myself happy and was always focusing on trying to help other people, but never thinking about helping myself. And I started to do more research into the problems I was facing, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I was kind of led down the path of pharmaceuticals by doctors, and really just had so many more problems than solutions found. So decided I needed to take it into my own hands and started researching alternative medicine and meditation and breath work and nutrition and all the different modalities of integrated medicine. And this is where a fire just lit inside me. I realized that there's so much opportunity in this space, and then it's kind of being shushed out, and people are being led down this single path of wellness that doesn't actually even help you be more well. So, started doing tons of research into CBD and adaptogens and functional medicine, and really fell in love and found an opportunity there. My entrepreneurial mind kicked in when I searched for over a week to find a CBD product and paid way too much for it. And the branding was terrible and the product tasted awful and all the different things that just kind of caused for a poor experience. And I realized that I could definitely do this better. There were no brands that really aligned with my generation, and no brands that aligned with my values. So decided to start my own. That was where We Are Well came up. It was bringing health and happiness to everyone and really creating a health brand specifically for my generation and aligning it with values that people like me care about, and making products specifically for the problems that myself and my peers face on the daily basis, like struggling to sleep, lack of focus, short attention span, low energy, all these different things that we all struggle with every day and kind of have just normalized in today's society. So by bringing together functional products and combining them with education around meditation and breath work and nutrition and exercise and all of these different things that really are factors in being healthy and happy, and combining them and integrating them together into a community while aligning them with the values that really matter to people, like social impact, like feeding people, like helping people with their mental health, and cleaning the ocean and being carbon negative, and all these different things that we all really care about that no one really has been doing in this industry. So that was really where the root of it all came from, and it's continuing to grow. We're continuing to find more and more charities and programs that we can align with to make an even bigger impact, and finding even more and more ways that we can help people every day.
Amazing. And so, how do you integrate those values that you talked about and the issues that you and your generation really care about so much? How do you integrate them into your business?
Yeah, mainly through we're very transparent, and I think that's something that our generation is extremely. We have a very strong bullshit filter, for lack of a better phrase, and we can see through fake marketing and can see through branding quite easily. So the transparency is definitely a very key element of the business and of the brand, and showing people everything that goes in behind the scenes of the business as well as everything that goes into the product. So showing lab results for every step of the product manufacturing, and showing where all of our ingredients come from, and then authenticity, and really showing the people behind the brand, and showing that we're all human. We're not just some corporate American people in suits and ties that just are at our computers all day. We're real people with real lives and real struggles. Um, just like any of the people that are purchasing our products. and really always focusing on helping people is the core of it. So customer service is extremely important to us. We really want to make sure that every customer is delighted at every step of the way and every touch point with our brand. So that looks like having personal conversations with the founders, always being open for phone calls, always being willing to connect, and help. Even if you're not using our product, we're still there to help you for free. So I think really showing that authenticity and integrity behind the brand, and not always trying to push for a sale, but truly just leading with our hearts, and always trying to push to be better and to help other people feel better is definitely the core of the wearewell brand.
Amazing. So how do you balance being there for everyone, for all these people, helping so many, whilst also looking after yourself and having a good work-life balance and, self-care and the rest of it?
Mainly through calendar. Like I have a very organized calendar, so calendar management is extremely important. I have specific days of the week that I dedicate to networking and to having conversations, and then other days where I'm specifically focused on taking care of myself, and other days that I'm specifically focused on output or inputs and outputs by creating work and um, building my network and things like that. So I think that's definitely a key to it. And then really speaking with people energizes me. I know a lot of people find it draining, but I find that every time I come out of a conversation with someone, and if I'm able to provide value to them or help them in any way, it really just lights the fire even brighter inside of me, and gets me more fired up to help more people. So that's honestly something that I find as self-care, is uh, seeing myself able to make an impact in someone's life, whether it's extremely minor or a major problem that I've helped them with, is definitely something that energizes me and helps keep me pushing through every day.
That's so beautiful. I definitely resonate with that. I'm also an extreme extrovert who gets very energized by having really meaningful conversations and helping to facilitate shifts in other people and myself. And I love hearing that that's also how you see part of your self-care, which is obviously so entrenched in what you're doing with We Are Well.
Yeah, exactly. And We Are Well was really um, an amazing vehicle to make more and more people smile every day. I mean, most of the things that I've worked on have been individual or one on one or um, in person. So being able to bring this virtual and help it scale up the impact on people's lives is really going to be a game changer for my life. And um, my goal is to make 1,000 people smile a day, and light up the faces of 1 billion people in my lifetime. And whether it's because I've helped them with their health, or through my coaching, helping them with their wealth, or just simply being there to be a friend, where We Are Well was created to help put these smiles on people's faces, and not only the smile of people, but helping the planet smile as well. So that's where our charitable initiatives come in, and all of our carbon planning and all of those things. It's all just about making people happier and healthier, and making the best positive impact that we possibly can.
Yeah. And so with a goal like that to light up the faces of 1 billion people in your lifetime, how on earth are you tracking that? How will you know when you've achieved it?
I think so through all of the touch points that I have with We Are Well. Every product that we sell, I can pretty much guarantee, unless we hear a negative review, that it made them smile at least once. Mainly, also, I send out a handwritten personal note with every order that has a cheeky little card that I know, unless someone has no sense of humor, there's no way that they're not at least smirking. And then through, honestly, lots of feedback, and it definitely will be difficult to track some of the ventures, but I definitely see it to be very doable. And I think through large speaking gigs, for example, once we're fully
Yeah.
back into being able to host big events, I definitely see myself getting in front of stages of thousands of people, and making those connections and smiles at a grander scale. But also through content. A lot of our content is really designed and intended to make people smile, and just to be that little shed of light in someone's day. So the more people that we have that we reach on our social media, the more people that try our products, and the more people that I can speak to and speak in front of, the more people that I can help at least shine a little bit of light and hopefully a smile to their faces.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really wondering what you write on the handwritten note now to make people smirk. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'll make
I hope
sure.
one will be coming to
Yeah,
me
I'll make sure
in the
you get
post
one.
soon.
I'll make sure you get one.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. I won't ask you what you write because it'll spoil it for everyone. But that's so cute. Yes, absolutely. And I have no doubt that you will achieve that. And obviously, being involved on the board and working with you a bit on consulting and coaching work and things, I know a lot about what your vision is. But I'd love to hear today from you and for our listeners. What is your vision for where you want to take We Are Well?
There's truly no limits. The vision is to empower our people to live a happier and healthier life while also inspiring change in themselves and in other businesses, and proving that you can be profitable and purposeful, and you can make people and the planet smile while also still making a profit. It doesn't have to be one or the other. So that's truly the big vision, is setting the example and making an impact on people's lives and the life of the planet, and um, empowering people through their health and through their happiness to live the life that they dream of, and to live life without limits. I think so many of us have all these limiting beliefs that hold us back from our goals and hold us back from our true potential. So We Are Well will be a vehicle to inspire people and show them that you have no limits. There are no limits to life, and that a lot of the things that we're doing on the day to day are actually just self-imposed limiting beliefs and limiting action. So truly is making an impact on billions of people's lives through products, education, support, community, um, all the different businesses, all the different modalities that you can use, and really bringing together communities, supporting other businesses, supporting entrepreneurs, supporting thought leaders and coaches and wellness activists and charities and amazing causes. Really, it's just all of the above, and bringing them all together and seeing how we can support each other and help each other live our best lives, and just be a part of team humanity, and help the planet thrive while helping humanity thrive at the same time.
So amazing and gorgeous. And for anyone listening who knows me quite well now, they'll know how aligned our missions are, of course, to really create that profit with purpose and change the world through impactful business. And it's so exciting to see how you're approaching that. And I truly believe that the future of success is absolutely all about purpose. And we're seeing more and more examples, like Oatly was just valued at 10 billion, and there are always more and more examples of companies showing how their purpose contributes to so much more value in many ways, including the financial value and the bottom line. And yeah, it's very, very exciting to see how you're building your vision in this area and really empowering people to live life without limits, because you're so right. We're the ones who impose the biggest limits on ourselves in almost all cases in life. It's really coming from us, and whatever we've experienced, we choose to allow those experiences to still hold us back now, today, tomorrow, in each moment. So really helping people to see that and free themselves is incredible transformative work.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I definitely, there's so much alignment, and as much as we can support people like you and other conscious leaders in helping them reach more people and helping them do what they do best. And that's truly the goal of it. It doesn't have to be all behind our brand or all our products or anything like that. It's all just about making this movement happen and helping humanity thrive, is truly the goal of it all.
Helping humanity thrive. I love it. Yes. If you enjoy Going Conscious, please subscribe for a new episode every Wednesday. If you think your friends and networks would benefit from listening, please share this podcast of fulfillment and freedom with them. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review. It's great to read what you think, and your support makes a big difference. Together, let's grow our courage and tools to transform and live the lives we really want to. As well as creating Going Conscious, I work as a transformation coach and conscious brand consultant. I'm on a mission to help holistically maximize conscious entrepreneurs to drive positive changes for themselves, others, and the planet. I can help you to transition and level up personally, and I can help your brand grow and make a bigger impact. To connect with me and find out more about how we can work together, find me on Instagram at Nikki Trott or on my website, nikkitrott.com. Please get in touch. I'd love to hear from you, and let's talk about your path of growth and development. So how has this journey for you, creating We Are Well and founding the business with your co-founders and building your team, and how has this journey so far changed your life, changed you personally?
This entire thing has changed me tremendously. I mean, I was a very, I wouldn't say pessimistic, but I was always able to find the negative in things up until about a few years ago, and was struggling quite a bit with mental illness and was kind of lacking. I was in school and for something that I didn't really care about. I thought I wanted to go into a career that turns out I really had no interest in. It was strictly that I thought there was a lot of money in it. So um, after my wake up call a few years ago, bringing together the team and helping inspire my co-founders to really dig into personal growth really helped me helped me be accountable to that. And we kind of had a bit of an internal competition where it was where we were just continuing to push each other to just be better and get that 1% better each day. So I think that really contributed a lot to my growth, just having people there that were supportive of me and that wanted to see me be the best that I could possibly be. And then as I built the team, it's really, I can't be preaching these modalities and preaching this whole movement if I'm not a pure embodiment of the movement. So that's really also helped me be accountable to all of the things that are important to me and really helped me assess where my values lie and identify different things that I'm doing throughout my day and really um, seeing whether or not they do align with my values and making the conscious decision to pass on things that don't. It wasn't really something that I had thought about before, but that was also something that was very draining in my past life, essentially. Um, so yeah, I think the combination of all these things and really the more and more research that I'm doing for um, to be able to educate other people, the more I'm learning myself and the more that I can practice those things myself and learn how to perfect them and then be able to share them with others. That's truly my journey. I'll go through a challenge, work on solving it, and then as soon as I've figured out how to solve it and I'm very comfortable with it, then it's time for me to help someone else go through that as well. So that's been a life changer for me. I'm much more happy every day, and I have gratitude for everything in my life. I practice daily gratitude multiple times throughout my day. I've done a lot more journaling and a lot more spiritual connection and um, healthy supplements and things like that have all really changed my life for the better.
I love how you said that you can't preach the movement if you're not an embodiment of it yourself. And I think that's what's also so exciting about this whole movement of conscious business, that for each person who is a leader within this space, we have to transform ourselves first and we have to work on ourselves first. And as you've described, when we're able to do that, then we're able to really make a massive impact because we're really living from that authentic place, and we then are able to spread that to the people around us and really continue more and more to raise our own consciousness, which only then helps to fuel our mission.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
And you mentioned a wake up call that you had, and I'd love to know specifically, what was that? Was there a specific moment where something happened and the penny dropped for you, or can you tell us about your wake up call?
Yeah, so it was during my first year of university. I was living in a dormitory, so it was a cement room. about 6 feet by 4 feet wide. Just a bed, a metal bed with a little chunk of foam and a desk and a wardrobe, and that was it. And I wasn't eating. I was hardly sleeping. I had no social life. I was partying. I was partying consistently. I had just come off a pretty much a bender, for lack of a better phrase. And I had been going from doctor to doctor. I was trying different pills, trying to help with my anxiety, and really was starting to deal with a lot of really negative side effects. And um, kind of the very last antidepressant that I was given, I started seeing people in my dorm room and hearing voices and a bunch of very scary side effects. And I was at a point where I was just wanted to just end it so that I would stop feeling what I was feeling. And at that moment, I basically had an out of body experience where I looked myself in the face, and the embodiment of myself essentially like slapped me in the face and just said, like, wake up, what are you doing? You can't be you can't be expect to be happy if you're just putting your happiness and your health in other people's hands. I was relying on the doctors to know exactly what was wrong with me and give me the pill that was going to fix all my problems. And I was relying on other people to make me happy. And it was really just a wake up call that, like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I really just it just woke me up. I didn't expect that to happen. I just realized, like, I can't be putting my health and happiness into someone else's hands, and I can't be trying to make other people happy if I'm not happy. I can't be pouring my cup out into other people's lives if my cup is empty. Um, so that really caused me to turn the page and really to wake up. I got off of all the medication I was taking. I started going to psychotherapy and doing CBT. I started reading more. I started exercising again. I started eating again, and really learning how I could get a better sleep, and really just focusing on each of these little elements of my life and trying to get a little bit better each day, and bringing myself back on that recovery road. And as I continued to add more modalities, as I built on my habits, I just started to become so much happier, and pulled myself away from the club scene, and stopped hanging around some of the people that were poor influences on me. And um, yeah, kind of just day by day continued to get better and better, and realized that I had to focus on myself and making myself happy, and focusing on my health if I was really going to make a difference in the world. And if I really wanted to live a long and happy life, that was step one. So that was really the biggest wake up call. And then that changed my life ever since. I've been completely different mindset, completely different outlook on life. I'm always searching for the positive in life, and taking care of myself much more, and really being much more conscious of the way I speak, the way I think, the way I talk to myself, and the way I spend my time, and all these different things have really truly changed my life.
Amazing. So you had this out of body experience, and you through that were able to take your power back and take responsibility for your own happiness, maybe for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. And I hadn't really gotten into any spiritual work or anything at that point. I was mainly just doing what I had known, which was just the exercise and eating a bit better. And um, I had tried meditation, but as most people who try meditation, as soon as my brain didn't turn off as I was expecting it to, I thought that meditation didn't work for me. And yeah, I was living great life, getting things were getting better and better, and then kind of hit another breaking point about coming up on 2 years ago, and my best friend had passed away very suddenly, just completely out of the blue. And that really shook me up. I started to think about life, and I had a much different perspective than I did previous times that I had lost friends. Before I had I'd slipped into deep depression, and blamed myself for, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that, and really caused a lot more problems at that point. But this second time around, after being a lot more mindful of the way I was speaking to myself and the way that I was thinking. And after learning the CBT, I was able to be that source of help for all of my friends who were dealing with the problem of losing their best friend as well. And actually, at the funeral, I ran into someone I hadn't seen in years, and he saw me. We randomly saw each other. It was a very big funeral, and he just said, "Hey, like, great seeing you. Let's catch up. Come over to my place." And he's a meditation coach, and I went over to his place. He sat me down, walked me through my first breathwork session, and started doing sound healing and energy work and all these different things, and really just opened my eyes up to a whole new dimension and whole new world that I had never even imagined was there before. So that really just took my whole life to the next level. Um, Learning that there was this whole other dimension, this whole other part of me that I could connect to and that I could tune into, and learning how to listen to my intuition and all of these different things. Really, that pushed me to the next level as well, and inspired me to learn more about meditation and how it works and breath work, and then also helping other people. I've now been leading breathwork sessions pretty much every day as well. So yeah, lots of
You're doing a lot,
yeah.
James.
Yeah.
But that's such a great story, and I'm sorry about your best friend. I also lost my best friend very suddenly, and also experienced how even after she had gone, she was really bringing people together
Hmm.
so much, as you experienced in the funeral, and having those experiences that you were obviously really meant to have,
Hmm.
to discover a whole new realm of how you could open up and help yourself and develop and transform. So still touching your life very much.
Hmm. Absolutely, every day.
Yeah. And so what are the most important modalities or habits for you now in your daily life that help you to really feel great?
Um, Definitely breath work. Breath work's a game changer. It really just sets the day up. So I do breath work every day, as well as at least some form of exercise. I used to push myself for 5 hours a day, and now I'm more than happy if I do 10 to 15 minutes a day. Um, so breath work, exercise are two things that I don't skip. And then journaling has been a game changer for me as well. Really reflecting every morning on the things that I'm grateful for, my purpose, my goals, and then reflecting in the evening on my wins for the day, some of the challenges and lessons that I learned, and kind of any topic that comes up, any saboteur that maybe came up through the day, really digging into that. Those are three things that I try and do every single day. And then my nutrition is definitely really important. I've learned that I can't expect to operate at peak performance if I'm putting junk into my body. So that's something that's I've been much more aware of and much more conscious of. And I would say a cold shower is really an amazing start to the day. It really has built up my stress response and helps me manage stress much more effectively. It wakes me up in the morning, gets me energized. So that's pretty much my morning routine. I do all of those things pretty much every single day, and that really helps set me up for the day and helps me be happier and healthier every day.
Mm, great. I love breath work too. I don't do breath work every day though. I do more kind of deep, intense sessions from time to time. But I love the idea of starting every morning with that.
Mhm.
I'm going to experiment with that around my meditation practice.
Yeah, I find it takes meditation like to 10x. I mean, just if you think about the brain waves of the way your brain operates through the energy waves, and if we simply go from being in our active state or being at work and then sitting down and trying to do a meditation, we're trying to take our brain from the peak of its wave all the way down to the bottom into that transcendent meditative state. So breath work really helps bring our body and our mind through those waves much quicker, and helps push out any of the energetic blockages that we're holding onto in our body that are resisting us from getting into that space. So I find like for transcendental meditation, I can get so much deeper and get a ridiculous connection so much quicker than if I was to just sit down and do mantra or do mudras or just sit down and try and remain still. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I preach breath work to everyone I speak to pretty much.
Yes. Amazing. So, James, what does personal success look like to you, and how has this changed since the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey?
Personal success to me is impacting people's lives, whether it's in a minor way or a major way, and whether it's at a micro or macro scale. That's truly what personal success means to me. Is that I'm able to make a positive impact in someone's life. The way that that's changed for me since I started entrepreneurship. Originally, it was all about, or at least I thought it was all about making money, and it was all about living that luxurious entrepreneur lifestyle with the nice car and the nice house and traveling and all these different things. And that was really, I think that was what was holding me back from reaching true success, is that I had a bit of a scarce money mindset, and that I thought that money would bring me happiness, and that more work equals more money equals more happiness. And I couldn't have been more wrong. Um, so yeah, that's definitely been a major change that I've seen through my entrepreneurial ventures. I think still deep down at the root of all the ventures I had been, there was still that desire to make people happy. It just wasn't necessarily a conscious one, as we discussed earlier. It was more in hindsight. I realized that all the things I did were making a positive impact on people's lives. But um, yeah, I definitely have seen a major shift in the way that I operate and the way that I do business now.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there a key takeaway or message from our conversation today that you'd like to share?
Um, I would say make sure your cup is full before trying to pour into other people's cup. That is something that is extremely important. Is really practicing gratitude, remembering what you're grateful for every day, remembering what makes you unique, and why you're the best person to do what you do, and switching our mind away from why me to why not me, and really finding that inspiration yourself, and focusing on making yourself the best possible version of yourself you can possibly be, and then focusing on helping others do the same for them, is truly where we can transcend and live the best possible life, and help humanity thrive again.
Yeah, and it's the only sustainable way we can make impact,
Exactly.
as we all learn. Yeah, absolutely. So, James, is there a book that you've read recently, or one of your favorites that you love, that you can recommend to us?
Yeah, the one I actually just finished recently rereading is called I Will. It's I think it's by Ben Sweetland. It's quite old, so it's some of the language is a bit outdated, but it was very inspirational to me. It's about utilizing the power of your subconscious mind, and recognizing that when we say I can, it takes us to a certain level, but then taking that to saying I will is a whole different ball game. So I would definitely say I Will by Ben Sweetland, and as well as The Untethered Soul, was a major eye opener for me, recognizing that we are not the voice inside of our heads, and that we are simply the observer of the mind and body. That changed my perspective on life. So I would say if I was to narrow it down, it would be those two books, definitely.
Yeah, the first one sounds really interesting. And there's definitely a real energetic shift between I can and I will.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love The Untethered Soul as well.
Yeah.
Have you read The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer, the same author as The Untethered
No,
Soul?
I was recommended that. It's on my list.
Yes. I like that one even more, I have
Okay.
to say. I mean, they're both amazing, and I like that I read them in that order too, The Untethered Soul first. But The Surrender Experiment was probably my favorite book that I read last year. So I think you're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm excited to read that.
Yes. Yes. So, lastly, James, where is the best place for our listeners to find you online?
Um, my my main social media would be Instagram. So hey James Bennett, HeyJamesBennett. That's where I spend most of my time, would be on Instagram, and then I do have a TikTok, but I'm not much of a TikToker. And then I make a lot of posts on LinkedIn. I'm also launching a website pretty soon, which will be heyjamesbennett.com. I'd love to connect with anyone listening to this. I have an open Calendly. I'm always there to support, whether it's in your business, your personal life, whether you just need someone to vent to or talk about your dog. I'm always there, and always looking to help people however I can. So I really encourage anyone who feels called to please reach out and connect with me. And I'm would love to hear from you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, James. It's been great speaking with you today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You as well. It's been great. Thanks so much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode with the inspiring James. I love how he talks about how he can't preach the movement if he's not an embodiment of it himself. It's incredible to hear how he has transformed his own mindset, wellness, health, and whole life through finding the best practices and natural products for him. Having driven his own transformation, he is able to help others to transform too, by really being part of that process himself. This really helps to underpin everything he is bringing to the world through We Are Well with authenticity and experience. James's habits and morning routine are certainly inspiring and clearly a priority for him, despite the demands of running his company. It can be overwhelming to add a whole load of new practices to your morning, but is there one idea you've heard about that you might like to try tomorrow? Small steps are key to success and longevity here. It's brilliant to be part of this journey with James as a member of the board of his company, as he is building a platform to drive profit and purpose hand in hand, really showcasing the future of business. As you know, this is what I am committed to helping all of my clients to do, and truly believe that our own path to fulfillment and success, as well as our path to making the positive impact on the world we're here to make, comes from creating profit with purpose. So make sure you check out We Are Well and James's links, and him and I would both love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe now. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star rating and short review. If you think people you know might benefit from listening to Going Conscious, please share it with them. I know I get much of my inspiration from podcasts which are shared with me. For all episodes, our library and more, visit goingconscious.com. Your support to spread this positive message of fulfillment and freedom means so much. As well as hosting Going Conscious, I help conscious entrepreneurs to transition and unleash their power and purpose with my transformation coaching and conscious brand consulting work. Discover more on Instagram at Nikki Trott or on my website, nikkitrott.com. I'd love to hear from you and to talk about your goals, questions, or how we can work together. And if I don't hear from you before then, see you next Wednesday on the next episode of Going